The thing that I liked most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact.
And on a chilly...
At forward, making his... And now, the starting look at forward.
Welcome, everyone, to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. By my side, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this is the second time Chicago has hosted this mid-season classic.
Yeah, you go back to 1973, that's when they hosted their first one. The East won it 104 to 84 back then. That was the lowest combined score in an All-Star game, Kevin, since the 1950s.
You'll see if then tonight, Clark, they can surpass that total.
I would think they could. No shortage of scores on either side. I expect an up-tempo, fast-paced game, an exciting game with plenty of highlights and buckets.
Cannot wait. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominique Wilkins with Larry Bird the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
Here's Jordan. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right. Wow. And plenty of subplots to this game. For more, let's send it over to David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Thanks very much. Now, this story has never gone away over the years, guys. Isiah Thomas is, of course, a native Chicagoan, but you'll still hear some boos today from Bulls fans. That's because at that All-Star game a couple of years ago, people questioned whether Isiah froze out Michael Jordan. Some people still believe it. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that story has not gone away. Thank you, David. For what it's worth, Clark, Isiah Thomas denies there was a freeze-out, and Jordan himself says, I never said it, so what do you think?
Well, the reality is we probably never will know the full story.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West All-Stars. Trailing by 2. There's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players still getting a feel for each other in the flow, a lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. To the middle, here's Lever. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That's on Isiah Thomas.
Constantly applying pressure on the defense. Lever gets himself to the stripe.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him. He's with the ball. Here's Jordan. And the layup's good off the glass. Jordan's got 8 points. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday, Clark. Can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. Here's Lever. After the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end. Malone sets the pick for Lever. English. Patrick Ewing comes up with the rebound.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
And there's Jordan. That's good on the assist by Wilkins. 12 points for him. Clark, amidst this All-Star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for Karl Malone. McDaniels checked in for English. Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most All-Star appearances by far in NBA history, Clark, and All-Star in every season of his career except one. And in that year, he was injured.
Yeah, and at 40 years of age, matter of fact, the youngest player tonight was only 4 years old when Kareem made his first All-Star appearance. That player, Brad Daugherty.
No kidding.
That's right.
And Kareem looking to set the career record for All-Star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you gotta love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
A good one. Magic Johnson delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow! And Clark, with his strength and quickness, Xavier McDaniel, a very tough guy to cover.
Well, he's versatile. You talk about that strength and athleticism. 92% of the time in his career, he scored in double figures. Very consistent.
My goodness. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And Kareem, the elder statesman, 19 years in the NBA. Decades of dominance.
Larry Bird had it going last night at the Legends game, trying to fill it up tonight as well.
The West trails by 6. Drexler scanning the floor. A floater, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. Michael Jordan getting it done for the East All-Star. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. We'll return shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star Game.
And Larry Bird winning 3 straight MVP awards from 1983 to 1986.
You know who the last player was to do that?
I'm going back to the 60s. You tell me.
Yeah,
I know
it's
you
Bill
know.
Russell.
Yeah, right,
it's
of
Bill
course.
Russell, 1960 to 63.
Of course. I'm glad we bring him up. A legend.
Yep.
They've got Michael Jordan. Dominique Wilkins out there with Bird. Then it's Thomas. And it's Ewing in at the center, filling out the middle. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. Olajuwon can't hit. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Stars.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Daugherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and, you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
Aguirre with it. He's picked up by Jordan.
Good read that time from Ewing defensively, showing that he can be impactful at that end of the floor, too.
A shot by Jordan, no good. The West trails by 6. Lever finds Johnson. Now Malone. Ring shot on the way. Isiah Thomas with the rebound.
You know, the fact is, he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
Now here's Johnson. Charity stripe shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Johnson's got his second bucket tonight. And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did. And the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch.
And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
Here's Lever. Following the basket by Michael Jordan. Malone, a screen on Jordan. So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars. And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
Good point. Now that one of the East All-Stars league has been cut to just 9 points on the basket from Johnson. And now let's go over to David Aldridge with a report on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Kevin. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the oldest All-Star in history. This is his 17th game. No one else has been in more than 13. To put that into context, there were 6 players in yesterday's Legends game that were younger than Kareem. Magic Johnson says he respects Kareem more than anyone I know because of the pride this man has in whatever he does. Kevin, back to you.
He is a very proud individual. David, thank you. And Kareem's coming out here, Clark, after spending 2 days in bed with strep throat. I mean, it's remarkable.
And, Kevin, that's exactly the pride Magic was talking about. And that's why it seems like every game we do, Kareem is adding to some type of record that he's already established. Tonight, he could very well become the leading scorer in the history of the All-Star game.
Isn't that phenomenal? They call him captain for a reason. He is truly the leader of this entire NBA.
Yes, sir.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Malone passes to English. 6 to shoot. Malone sets the pick for English. The master of the mid-range, Alex English.
You know, people said Alex English was too light of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in his 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for the West. Drexler comes in for Magic Johnson.
You know, the separator with Jordan from other guys is his drive. That's obvious in my mind. He wants to win more than most anybody else out there on the floor.
And the East All-Stars decide to take their first time out here. And the West All-Stars have possession. A 12-point game. And stolen by Jordan. Bird finds Wilkins. And the shot goes in. Jordan's got 28 points for the game.
Another big night for Jordan. What a natural scorer he is. MJ simply can do it all.
It's Abdul-Jabbar, high post. English on the wing. Drexler, high post. Jordan's there. On the clock. Drexler's shot is off. The East leading by 14. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan.
There it is right there in front of you. Jordan going to work and dunking it like only he can.
Pass to Drexler. Can they get it? That ball. Great assist by Lever. Lever's got 3 assists now in this one. And the dunk by Jordan.
Hey, height is just a number when you play with his tenacity and force inside.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. That free throw, no good.
That Lever is not the biggest guard, but he makes big impact on the game because he plays with such intensity at both ends of the floor.
Worthy's checked in for Donaldson. The West grabs the miss. Now Drexler. It's Lever high post. English outside. From deep, Drexler. And so it's the East All-Star. Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th. And Ewing has got the ball here for the East All-Stars.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
On the court for the West All-Stars, they've got Malone. Lever is out there with Magic Johnson. Then it's Olajuwon, and it's English, and at the 3, the small forward. Now, here's Jordan after the miss from Karl Malone. And of the players in tonight's All-Star Game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
Johnson. It's rebounded by Ewing. Ewing's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Kicks it out to Malone. At the elbow, Olajuwon. Over Thomas. Olajuwon, no luck.
Boy, he's got to be kicking himself for failing to make that shot. That's money.
Jordan with it. Picked up by Malone. And the dunk by Jordan.
Yep, he's their leading scorer in this game and has been the dominant figure today. No doubt about it.
Malone, a screen on Wilkins. Shoots from the high post. It's hauled in by the East. Jordan's got 5 rebounds tonight. Good ball movement here by the East. Good, and the nice assist from Wilkins. Jordan's got 40 points.
Enjoying this big lead, and right now they look unstoppable on offense.
Took him no time at all on that one.
Magic Johnson in his 8th All-Star game now, 2nd in All-Star votes this year, and he hosts his own All-Star game in the summer in LA as a fundraiser. And I understand it's quite an event. And Fat Lever, snubbed a year ago, now a first-time All-Star, well-deserved. He leads the league in triple-doubles, one of the original stat sheet stuffers, averaging 9 rebounds a game as well. Best by a mile for NBA guards. You know, there's been talk about adding a 3rd referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it, and they plan to put it before the Board of Governors at the next meeting.
McDaniels checked in for the West, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Malone, the pass to Johnson. The hook. Malone trying to break free. Johnson's shot is off. The East leading by 17. Jordan kicks to Bird. Nifty move. And the layup is up and in. Bird's got 8 points.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. those last 3 playing here tonight.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly, with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the 3rd official, but over time.
Michael Jordan now with 42 points, Clark. He has tied the record for scoring in an all-star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
Timeout called here by the East. They're going to talk it over. Worthy's checked in from the West.
James Worthy.
In the 3rd quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Another spoon-fed basket for Magic. And if there's a rival for the size and athleticism of Michael Jordan, Clark, it might just be Clyde Drexler.
I don't think there's any question about it, Kevin. The Phi Slamma Jamma alum can take flight with the very best of them.
Yep, great athletes.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time.
And Bird with the basket on the assist by Jordan. Bird's got 4 this quarter.
Yeah, you know, when he's not beating you from the 3 or attacking the basket, Bird, very reliable from the mid-range.
Here's Johnson. Kicks it out to Drexler. Just 5 to shoot. Johnson, a wide open look, and right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting. And you think about adjusting, Clark, how about the all-star reserves? Guys that start normally are the stars of their team, now off the bench on a team of stars.
Kevin, excellent point. For players who are used to starting the game, probably a rare experience coming in off the bench and trying to get it going. But I think these guys so enjoy being part of this. That sacrifice is not much at all.
You're exactly right. Ewing kicks to Bird. To the paint, and another shot. Ewing can't get it to go. And Kareem will need to get it going, Clark, to reach double digits.
I think his teammates have to do a better job of getting him touches. Just keep feeding him. He's more than capable of getting there.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And the free throw no good, but they'll get the ball back here.
You know, the combination of size, speed, and length that Johnson has, really pretty unique for a point guard.
Danny Ainge is checked in for the East. Pass to Abdul Jabbar. And Johnson now top of the key. The pass to McDaniel. The West All-Stars need to get a shot off here. The West again cannot hit. It's stolen by Johnson. And Ewing sends it back. Michael Jordan getting it done for the East All-Star. This has been a remarkable game for him offensively. Anytime you get over the 40-point mark, it's
The West, 38.
Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA. The West trails by 16. Down the stretch here, the East, Clark, out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. Michael Jordan is out there with Bird. Then it's Thomas. Then it's Wilkins. And it's Ewing in at center. So that's the 5 in the game for the East All-Stars.
And the 6'9" forward, Karl Malone out of Louisiana Tech, playing for the Utah Jazz. Tonight, he's one.
And it's a new single-game record in scoring for the All-Star Game, set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin, and it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive. Malone, an outstanding passer at the power forward position. He's got really good floor awareness and has a really good understanding of when to get the ball to the open man.
Jordan dishes to Bird. Jordan passes to Ewing. Good D by Olajuwon. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West All-Stars. They trail by 14. Here's the hook. And a great assist by Drexler as that one goes in. Drexler's got his 3rd assist on the night.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
Now a timeout called by the West All-Stars. Weaver's checked in for Drexler.
Fat Weaver.
Pass to English. Over Thomas. The West again cannot hit. Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are graped up pretty good.
Here's Olajuwon. East grabs the miss. Bird's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. To the middle. Here's Wilkins. And Wilkins with the stuff.
And Dominique Wilkins is the go-to scorer for the Hawks. No question about that. And he's embraced that leadership role as well. Obviously a huge part of the Hawks' success.
And it's Malone missing.
Clearly the defense could have been better there, guys, but he also needs to convert that. And Commissioner David Stern in the house tonight. Since taking over 4 years ago, he's done a remarkable job helping guide this league to new unprecedented heights. Defensively, you just can't afford to give these easy looks up. Just asking to get burned if you do. The #1 overall pick in 1985, and it was an all-star rookie season for Patrick Ewing. Hurt last year, but nice to see him back where he belongs, right in the all-star game.
English the pass to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. And Malone gets double teamed. Back to Johnson. Over Thomas. A shot by Johnson, no good. One thing the league has done since Commissioner Stern has taken over, Clark, is really marketing the league around its stars. And I like that type of strategy.
I agree with you, Kevin, wholeheartedly. And what better time to highlight those great stars than tonight? Amazing talent, compelling personalities. The league is certainly on a great trajectory.
It absolutely is. Malone. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That's on Isiah Thomas.
You know, it's really tough to go up against Malone because he's so big and strong, which is why the defense oftentimes is forced to foul him.
The East leading by 18. Jordan the pass to Bird. And Hakeem Olajuwon pulls it down. Olajuwon's got 6 rebounds in the game. And that one, good. Lever's got 4 points in the quarter.
When it comes to distributing the ball, nobody does it better than Magic. When one of his guys has a clean look, the ball is there quickly and on target. And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that. With defensive prowess and nearly a 7-foot wingspan, it's a lot harder to get a clean look on Jordan than most guys.
Tripe. Oh, my goodness.
Man. Michael Jordan, MJ. It really doesn't get much better than this.
So the West ends up going with the new group. Donaldson the pass to Worthy. Here's Aguirre. Tries again. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And the Mavericks' Mark Aguirre actually got married last night. How about that? A big weekend for the DePaul product. Michael Jordan using that strength of his to get into the defense to draw the foul on the way up.
Second team foul.
And both free throws good for Jordan. The West trails by 20. Passes it to Aguirre. And a great assist by Drexler as that one goes in. Drexler's got his 4th assist in this one. Here's Jordan. And he makes good on the layup. Jordan's got 50 points.
All too easy for Jordan. Just unfazed by anything the defense throws at him. He's got an answer.
Here's Donaldson. Ewing defending. Drexler, no good. This offense has been dynamic and diversified.
Everybody sharing the ball and sharing the load makes you really hard to defend. That should put a stamp on this one.
They get a hand on it. Aguirre passes to Drexler. Looking to end his cold spell. It's rebounded by Ewing. And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for the East. They have a 22-point lead. It's the most they've led by. And there's the call on Michael Jordan. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul.
On offense, here are the West All-Stars. Drexler passes to Donaldson. Banked in off the glass. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first All-Star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taken the path less traveled for sure.
He said, "Arrivederci" to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in. Clark, they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored, but you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on Michael Jordan, Kevin. No wonder they found that extra gear they needed when it was time to get it done.
That's a good point. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.